Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and it's time to wrap up the last of the three legendary birds, Zapdos. Now, I'm gonna be entirely honest and say that I don't think Zapdos will perform as well as the other two. With the fact that we start off with Peck and Thundershock and don't have Drill Peck until level 49, I have a feeling that Brock will be a rock wall. Now that everyone is left, let's go ahead and look at Zapdos' stats. Zapdos has a base stat total of 580 to stay on par with the other birds, with its best stat in Special and second best in Speed. To cover the rules, we can only use Zapdos in battle, we cannot use items, and I do allow Rare Candy Hacks to avoid grinding, and we do catch other Pokemon to be able to use HMs. We name ourselves Moradin to show some love towards Moradin Plays, an awesome VTuber who plays a wild variety of games. He's an absolute delight to listen to and has some pretty crazy spot-on impressions. Our Zapdos has a sassy nature, which increases special defense and reduces speed. This isn't the worst thing in the world, but I would rather have the extra special or physical attack, if I'm being honest. The rival gets Bulbasaur in this instance due to the fact that it resists our special attacks, but for the beginning, we have a pretty solid advantage. Due to us starting with Peck, it only takes 2 attacks to finish it off for good. Unfortunately, with us having access to electric moves, Charizard and Blastoise as a rival wouldn't have made sense. Plus, the rivals have the other 2 starters of the big 3, so this way we can get to experiment with every single team that he has over a course of different videos. We do a small bit of leveling and complete the side story stuff before going to the optional rival fight. Pidgey takes 2 tackles, and we're apparently speed tied, so we do take it down and level it up. With Bulbasaur, we take it down with a few pecks and win the battle. Thankfully, with our typing, we can once again get through Viridian Forest rather quickly. That's the end of the good news, because once we get to Brock, we have nothing that's actually super effective against him, and I have a feeling we'll pay for that. Granted, we pay first against the trainer in Brock's gym and lose to his Geodude more than once. With Brock, we're at level 15 because that's how long it took to just beat the junior trainer. The Geodude would spam Defense Curl, so our Peck would do very little damage and then slowly just chip away at us. As we go to face Brock, even with a crit, it takes a while to take out Geodude due to the defense curls, but thankfully it doesn't take long. Onix, despite having a weak attack, is able to take us out without too much trouble. Unfortunately, most attempts end like that, and since we can't paralyze it or use our better special attack, we're forced to level up for the time being. Going up to level 20, we start by pecking the Geodude who goes down in 3 attacks. It takes Onix about 6, and we get dropped past half, due to some blocks, but we do manage to take him down and get the first badge. That is probably the longest that I've spent on the first gym since the Pikachu run. After that, we're slightly over-leveled since it took some time to be able to beat Brock, so we're lucky at this point because we can mow our way through the next route and actually get through the cave with relative ease. We go to the rival pretty much immediately after healing up and start by using Thundershock against Pidgeotto to take it down with 1 hit. Rattata uses Quick Attack, and we respond with Thundershock to take it out. Abra's next and can attack, so we're able to Thundershock critical hit to take it down. And from there, Bulbasaur is last, and we still have Peck, so we take it to red as it puts us to sleep. Thankfully, it can't do much, so when we wake up, we are able to finish it off. Now, the route ahead is a smidge scary, if I'm being honest. There's a few hikers with rock types, but thankfully, we do manage to make our way through, and soon enough, it's time to go ahead and face off against Misty. When Staryu comes out, we take it out with 1 shot, and then it's time for Starmie, who also goes down in the 1 shot. After the beatdown that we received from Brock, I'm honestly not gonna complain. We can head to the ship, and I don't bother with leveling up too much. At the end of the day, even if we don't have a direct type advantage against the gyms, Zapdos is still a legendary Pokemon and has pretty amazing stats. Certainly not on par with Mewtwo, but let's be honest, it's hard for most Pokemon, especially Gen 1 Pokemon, to be able to match up. I have no clue if the later Gen Legendaries would perform as well, but that's always something that we can try in future runs. Now that I've done a run with a Pokemon in a later gen, putting it in this game, it opens up a lot of options for additional runs with potentially better results. The rival opens up on the ship with Pidgeotto, and we take it out with one shot from Thundershock. Raticate is out, and we continue with our better attack, but Thundershock only takes it to red as it tail whips us, and we knock it out next turn. Kadabra is out, and we switch to the physical attack to take it out, and last we have Ivysaur, who is admittedly a bit tankier, but still goes to red with a single peck. It misses Poison Powder, and then goes down. After that, we grab Cut, head to the gym, spend an absurd amount of time on the trash can puzzle, and head to fight Surge. Surge sends out Voltorb first, and we open with Thundershock, mostly to test damage. While they technically resist it, it is still our better stat. We do end up getting Screeched, and as Surge potions up, we get 2 Peck crits to take it down. Pikachu is out, and we bring it to yellow with Thundershock, then finish it off. Last is Raichu, and we take it to a bit above half, and it paralyzes us. Unfortunately, it begins to double team, and we stay paralyzed. Fortunately, we break through all that, and then hit it the next turn to take it down and win the 3rd badge. After that, we can go to the Dark Cave, and going from there actually opens up quite a bit of game to us. Once we get through there, we can either go to Celadon and then go to Fuchsia, or we can go immediately to Fuchsia, we can go to Saffron. There's a lot of different options that are available, so keep this in mind if you ever try something like this yourself. But once we get to Celadon, we go ahead and head to the game quarter. This way we can switch out Thundershock for Thunderbolt, which is a much needed upgrade. We go through the game corner rocket hideout, and soon enough it's time to take Giovanni on. He starts with Onix, and we barely do any damage with our 2 attacks, especially after he uses Harden so many times. Unfortunately, it gets us all the way to 17 HP before it finally goes down. Then, Rhyhorn is able to take us out with Fury Attack. We do try this a few times, but unfortunately, we're just not dealing enough damage, and we're taking far too much from just his first Pokemon. So, rather than spend time leveling up here, we actually go ahead and leave to go do some extra fights. We head to the rival fight in the tower and take out Pidgeotto and Gyarados with 1 Thunderbolt apiece. Growlithe also goes down to 1 Thunderbolt, and we switch to Return for Kadabra to take it out. And last up is Ivysaur, who we use Peck against to take it below half. It misses us, and that allows us to take it out on the next Peck. Now, unfortunately, we can't complete the full tower until we beat Giovanni, so we double back to Celadon City and try again with some extra levels. Onix is still taking such a long time to take out and manages to beat us into the ground more often than not. Looking back, I should have taken the time to go face Erica for at least a badge boost and potential levels, but I just ended up leveling from here to be able to take him on effectively. I also could have probably went to the Safari Zone to grab Steel Wing, but again, these aren't perfect by any means, and hindsight is 20/20. At level 40, Peck is finally doing enough output to take down Onix with us still in green health, and the same can be said for Rhyhorn. We do still nearly get taken out due to their typing, but even with a Kangaskhan Mega Punch, we do manage to take it out to finally get past this part. Heading back to the tower, we finish it off and make our way back to Erica, and yeah, I could have optimized this better. Thankfully, Erica is pretty easy until we don't finish off Victory Bell with a Peck, get paralyzed, but we do take it down a couple turns later. Tangela sets up Ingrain, which thankfully doesn't matter since it goes down in 1 hit. Vileplume comes out and lands the Soft Acid, and we get a critical hit Peck to take it out. We can do a little bit of stuff from here to knock out the Safari Zone and then head to face off against Koga. There's no type advantage or disadvantage here, but his explosions can still wreck us if we're not careful. Coughing goes down to 1 Thunderbolt, and as Muck comes out, we continue to Thunderbolt that takes him to half, and it uses Acid Armor. That's fine, since we use Thunderbolt, we bypass that and take it out the next turn. Coughing comes out, and we critical hit to take it out for the one-shot. Wheezing is the last one up, and we use Thunderbolt to bring it to red as we get hit with Smokescreen. Koga potions up, and we use Thunderbolt again, and this time we get a favorable damage range and end up taking it out next turn to get another badge. Now, at this point, our options do start to get a little bit narrowed from here because, again, we're approaching the endgame. But I actually feel pretty confident in being able to take on the rivals, so what we do is we immediately go to Silphco, and we head immediately to the rival fight. Pidgeot is first because the rival has a mostly evolved team now, and we get hit with Wing Attack. We take it out with one attack, though. Gyarados is out, and thanks to 4 times weakness to electricity, we take it out in the one shot as well. Growlithe comes out, and we take it out in one hit. Alakazam is up, and we switch to Peck, and only take it to a quarter as it uses Calm Mind. We use Return, and it recovers, but we do take it out next turn. Venusaur is out, and it does put us to sleep. We wake up a bit later and paralyze it, mostly for safety. We get put asleep again, but when we wake up, we're able to take it out for the win. Hopefully, Giovanni won't be as much trouble this time around. Nidorino's out first, so we open him up with Thunderbolt to take it out with one shot. Rhyhorn, the scarier of the Pokemon, comes out. We're doing very little damage with Peck and not great damage with Return, but we do manage to take it out. Kangaskhan uses Fake Out, and we take it down with 2 Thunderbolts. Unfortunately, Nidoqueen is able to take us out next turn. Rather than waste time, we go around the building, level up a bit on trainers, and also grab a few vitamins as well. With the vitamins and extra levels, we square off again, and Nidorino is of course still a one-shot. Rhyhorn is out. We now have Drill Peck, which does considerably more. Rhyhorn misses Rock Blast, allowing us to take it to half. Rhyhorn then uses a Soft Stomp, and we take it to red as it uses Fury Attack. The next Drill Peck takes it out, and we're actually looking pretty alright on health. Kangaskhan opens up with a Fake Out, and Thunderbolt hits it hard, taking it to red. Rage is garbage, so we take very little from it, and then take it out. Nidoqueen is last, and we bring it to half with one Drill Peck, get Body Slam, then take it out on the next turn. After dealing with that, it's basically going to be a race to the finish line, or a slow crawl, depending on how much we get walled by the upcoming gyms. With Sabrina's gym, we go there, she sends out Kadabra first, and we use Drill Peck, focusing more on their weak defense. It goes down to one shot, and next up is Mr. Mime, who also falls to a single attack. So far, so good. Venomoth, the ever-changing typed moth, goes down to a single Thunderbolt, probably because it's water flying today. Last up is Alakazam, and we switch back to Drill Peck to take it down and win us the badge. With a quick trip to Cinnabar and a trip through the mansion, we're able to make it to Blaine. We do, as usual, avoid the extra trainers in the gym. Growlithe is kind enough to go down after a single Thunderbolt, and we continue to use the stronger of our 2 stats. Ponyta and Rapidash are also one-shots, and in no time at all, his ace is out. We get intimidated, which is fine since we're using special. One Thunderbolt brings it to yellow. We get nailed with Fire Blast for a decent amount of health, and Blaine heals up. There's a bit of a back and forth with potions and our damage output, but a few turns later it goes down without too much of an issue. We skip the Sevi Islands because I'm still fairly certain we won't find anything useful there, and we head to Giovanni's gym. Now, we have good news and bad news. The good news is the strong moves like Earthquake will not hit us. The bad news is the moves like Rock Blast will absolutely wreck us. So, you know, good and bad. Giovanni first sends out Rhyhorn, and we open up with Drill Peck since we don't have many options. It looks like this will be a 4 to 5 hit knockout. We get Scary Faced and take it to yellow, so maybe a 4 hit if he doesn't heal. Another Scary Face lowers our speed further, and we take it to low yellow, and he misses Rock Blast. Now, unfortunately, Giovanni does heal up, and we continue with Drill Peck. We do take it down, but not before a Rock Blast hits us. We manage to take the second one out as well, and have about above half health. Dugtrio hits us with Slash, and as Nidoqueen comes out, she's able to Body Slam us into submission. Unfortunately, we don't really have anything to help aside from the inaccurate Steel Wing, which is hidden somewhere within the Savari Zone, so we keep attempting, and at about 5 attempts into level 60, we get a much-needed crit against the first Rhyhorn, and have Giovanni use potions on both of them. The good news is, his body-slamming Pokemon shouldn't be healed, but taking these down is still a pain. Thankfully, we're able to take Dugtrio out with much problem. Now, Nidoqueen comes out, and here's where we hold our breath. If we get poisoned at high enough health, we're fine. If we suffer no status condition, we're fine. But if we get paralyzed, we're probably gonna lose again. Thankfully, we get poisoned rather than paralyzed and are able to take Nidoqueen down with Drill Peck. Last up is his final Pokemon, Nidoking, and Thrash plus the poison damage bring us all the way to 2 HP before we finally take it down, putting it into this nightmare that is Giovanni. With that being done, it's the last of the 8 badges, and it's time for us to start doing the in-game stuff. We head to the last pre-Elite Four rival fight, which makes me wonder how much training he did through Victory Road, and if he's using speed-up strats as well, because I go through Victory Road pretty quickly, and his levels jump quite a bit. He may have rare candy. Anyway, Pidgeot is first, so we get hit with Quick Attack, which is fine, because Thunderbolt takes it out. Now, here's his scary Rhyhorn that we do a small chunk against with Drill Peck. Rock Blast takes us to 91 HP, and Takedown has us looking rough by the time it goes down. Good news is our speed isn't wrecked like it was with Giovanni, and Gyarados goes down with 1 Thunderbolt. Growlithe doesn't have extreme speed like an Arcanine does, and goes down without damaging us as well. Alakazam is out, and we take it to low with Drill Peck as he brings us to 2 HP with Psychic before going down. Venusaur is last, and we cross our fingers and go for Drill Peck. Unfortunately, only bring it to half, so we do get taken out. The next attempt goes about the same for the first couple Pokemon, except this time, Rhyhorn doesn't use Rock Blast nearly as much, so when we take it out, we still have more than enough HP. This time, Thunderbolt also one-hit shot the Alakazam, so when Venusaur comes out, we paralyze it for the safety, but end up taking it out in 2 turns. I'm okay with actually having to do more than 1 attempt. It's when I have to do 1,000 attempts I have the issue. Now we can go through Victory Road and take on the Elite Form. For the first time, I feel semi-confident going up against Lorelei. Dugong is up first, and we're at a decent level, so fingers crossed. Thunderbolt takes it out in 1 shot, and Slowbro's up next, and we take it out in 1 shot. This is going better than I thought immediately. Lapras, a Pokemon that ruins most attempts, also goes down to 1 shot. Next up is Jinx, and we use Thunderbolt, though I think Drill Peck may have been the better option. We get put to sleep and wake up in time to take it out, but we only have 12 HP left. But thankfully, Cloyster's special defense is absolutely atrocious, and it doesn't spam Protect, so we can go ahead and take it out. Bruno is next, and I'm immediately remembering his 2 Onix that are likely going to wreck me. Drill Peck does about 1/5, and we thankfully don't get hit too often by Iron Tail, leaving us with a decent amount of HP, but it goes down. Hitmonchan also goes down to 1 Drill Peck, and next up is Machamp, who goes to about half, gets healed with its berry, Scary Faces us, then goes down. Unfortunately, the speed drops allow Hitmonlee to outspeed us and take us down with a Mega Kick. It takes a decent amount of attempts, and we eventually break down and add Steel Wing in place of Return, since we use Drill Peck for the stab. After adding Steel Wing, we try again and take Onix down to half with 1 shot. Rock Tomb hits and lowers our speed, but we still outspeed, and next turn, we take it down. Hitmonchan is 1 shot, next up is Machamp. We use Drill Peck to take it to red, and it bulks up and gets full restored. Thankfully, even with the buff, we can still take it down. Mega Kick still hits hard, but we do survive and take it out next turn. We accidentally click Thunderbolt, and I'm seeing this attempt go immediately down the drain. We don't miss a single Steel Wing, though, and even though Bruno full restores, we're able to go ahead and take it down. Though, once again, we were 1 hit away from losing. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned at how many close calls we've had going against the first few Elite Four members. With no time to waste, we go ahead and face off against Agatha, who starts off with Gengar. Thunderbolt connects and takes it to low red as it double teams. We miss the next attack and take it back to red to then take it out. Golbat is thankfully a 1-shot, and we get our attack lowered by Arbok, but our special is enough to take it to red. We get hit hard with Sludge and then take it down. We use Drill Peck against Gengar to chip its health, get hit with Sludge, then take it down. Haunter also goes down, with us having about half health left, and with that, it's time to cross our fingers and fight Lance. Lance is somewhere between scary and horrifying given his dragon types, but the 2 weaker ones that like to do status conditions don't have flying types, which is an issue. Gyarados is first, so we open up with Thunderbolt to take it out with 1 shot. Aerodactyl's next, and I expect it'll be a problem, especially seeing how Ancient Power hits, but we actually take it out in 1 hit. Dragonair is out, and we use Drill Peck as it uses Outrage. The next Dragonair is out, and we hit it with Thunderbolt, get paralyzed, then take it out. When Dragonite comes out, we take it to half. Outrage takes us to 1 HP, but unfortunately, we can't finish it off with our lowered speed and get taken out. We attempt this battle about 8 total times, and unfortunately we can't one-shot the second Dragonair and get paralyzed, which wrecks every one of our attempts. We go to level 65 and take Gyarados and Aerodactyl out in one shot, though we do get hit with Ancient Power. The next Dragonair we take to above half, and it only safeguards, allowing us to safely take it out. When the next Dragonair is out, we get a much-needed critical hit to take it out in one shot. Dragonite goes to about half and starts with Outrage and gets healed by the berry. We Thunder Wave, forgetting about the safeguard, and get taken low. We use Thunderbolt, and it hurts itself in confusion to win the battle. Not the way I pictured the Dragon Master battle ending, but you know what? Let's move on. With the champion, he sends out Pidgeot first as always, and we're able to take it out one shot without too much of a problem. Now, the fully evolved Rhydon that he sends out next, well, that is a big problem. We open with Drill Peck just to see if we could chip it a little, and thankfully Scary Face misses. Seal Wing is doing better damage, but Rock Tomb hits and takes us immediately to red with a critical hit, and lowers our speed. The next Seal Wing connects to take it out with a critical hit of our own. Alakazam sets up Future Sight, which essentially puts us on a timer, even with taking it out. Maybe if our speed didn't get lowered, we could take it out without that happening. Gyarados is out, and it outspeeds us to take us out. We try this battle 37 more times, and I keep thinking, okay, Rock Tomb is super inaccurate, so it's gonna miss more often than not, and our speed will be fine, right? Right? Wrong. More often than not, we can't take it down in the one hit, and it hits us despite having lower accuracy, and then the same outcome from before happens. Finally, at level way too high, 75, we attempt this, and it takes about 5-6 more tries. Pidgeot goes down to Thunderbolt, we get Rhydon down to half with Steel Wing, get Scary Faced, then take it down. Alakazam hits us with Psychic, and we take it down with Drill Peck. Gyarados does hit us, but we take it down with Thunderbolt. Arcanine hits us with Flamethrower, and we do take it out. Venusaur uses Growth, and we've paralyzed for safety. With the Paralysis, we're able to outspeed it and take it to red. It begins using Solar Beam, which locks it into the move and allows us to deal the final Drill Peck to take it out and win the challenge. So that challenge was actually way more difficult than I thought it was going to be, even with the beginning gym in mind. I didn't think rock types would be this much of an issue, but when you don't have a way to attack them with their weak special, it definitely makes it difficult. Without having access to our special attack, they prove to be just so much harder. Hopefully you enjoyed this month of Legendary Pokemon challenges, though admittedly the first one was mostly just to be able to talk to you guys. And I'm excited to announce next week's video, and for once I actually have it planned. We're going to be attempting my first ever hardcore Nuzlocke using only poison types in Pokemon FireRed. Pokemon FireRed is admittedly the easiest one to be able to try in Nuzlocke, so I figured since this is my first hardcore Nuzlocke and first type lock, it made sense. If you want to watch me do more stuff, then come check out my Twitch, join the Discord, and all that. And as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.